Why is Nicole so sexy?
Why isn't she? Incredible mom. Loving, maternal, teaching me a lot about how to raise children.
Just watching him having put so much work into what he does.
Beautiful.
Always.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
The dress is nice too.
It's date night, right? What do you do after the show?
I don't know. We're pretty spontaneous most of the time.
And it's interesting too. It's like if he was trying to get that message out there to do his thing, and then Nicole the next day was like, well, then I'm filing for divorce.
Boom.
After nearly 2 decades together, Keith Urban and Nicole Kidman seemed like one of Hollywood's rare success stories, built on love, recovery, and second chances. But behind their polished image, problems were growing. When news of their divorce surfaced, fans were shocked, believing they had already survived their toughest challenges. Then Urban made a surprising confession about Kidman that changed how many viewed their relationship. What happened to their marriage? Their story began long before Hollywood. Keith Urban was born on October 26, 1967, in Wangaratta before his family moved to Queensland. Raised around country music, he learned guitar young and entered local talent competitions. In 1992, he moved to Nashville with talent, ambition, and no guarantee of success. At first, Nashville didn't work out. Urban's early years were financially unstable and professionally disappointing. His debut album gained little attention, and after struggling to establish himself, he returned to Australia. But he soon decided to try again. The second attempt changed everything. By the late 1990s, he had a recording contract, Grammy nominations, and a growing fan base. Yet behind the success, a serious personal struggle was taking shape. Urban later revealed that alcohol and cocaine had become addictions. Even as his career improved, he had already entered rehab twice. Though he appeared focused and in control, he later admitted he had only managed the appearance of recovery. In January 2005, Urban and Nicole Kidman met at the G-Day USA Gala in Los Angeles. Kidman later said she developed an immediate crush on him. The two exchanged numbers that night, but Urban did not call for nearly 4 months. Once he did, the relationship moved quickly. They became engaged in May 2006 and married on June 25th at the Cardinal Soretti Memorial Chapel in Sydney. Kidman's adopted children, Bella and Connor, joined close friends and family at the ceremony, which guests described as intimate and joyful. 4 months later, everything changed. In October 2006, Urban entered the Betty Ford Center for Alcohol Addiction Treatment and remained there for about 3 months, creating the first major crisis of their marriage.
And barely 4 months into our marriage, my addictions that I'd done really nothing about blew our marriage to smithereens, and I went into the Betty Ford Center for 3 months. 4 months into a marriage, I'm in rehab for 3 months with no idea what was going to happen to us. And if you want to see what love in action really looks like, give that a whirl. Nick pushed through every negative voice, I'm sure even some of her own, and she chose love. And here we are tonight, 18 years later.
During that time, Kidman quietly supported him, stepping back from public obligations and avoiding media attention while he faced his addiction. For Urban, the experience became a turning point in his life. Urban's recovery was about more than saving his career. For the first time, he confronted the addiction directly, and that difficult period became the foundation of their marriage. But greater challenges still lay ahead. By 2024, Keith Urban and Nicole Kidman had become one of Hollywood's most admired couples, seen as a rare example of a lasting marriage.
How do you guys maintain, what do you focus on to try to have normalcy in a life that is abnormal?
I mean, look, love, genuine love, and genuine gratitude for what we get to do. Nick has it, I have it. And I think we were both raised in a similar thing too. Australia has a thing called a tall poppy syndrome. Every Aussie knows about this. And it's, if you get too big, in the South, they'd say, when you get above your raisin, right? They cut you down.
Yet their relationship had been built during a crisis that began almost immediately after their wedding. That reality resurfaced in June 2024 at the 49th AFY Life Achievement Award Gala, where Kidman was being honored. As actors and collaborators praised her career, the mood shifted when Urban took the stage. He spoke candidly about their first year together, revealing that his unresolved addiction nearly ended the marriage only 4 months after the wedding, and that rehab left him uncertain whether the relationship would survive.
Speaking of your amazing love story with Nicole, you met at G'day Australia. Is that what it was called?
G'day, LA.
G'day LA.
Yeah.
If you hadn't both been there that day, would your paths somewhere have inevitably crossed? Or maybe this incredible
probably.
life story wouldn't have happened?
No, I think it would.
Yeah? Are you a believer in fate, or do you think as two Australians it would have happened?
No idea.
Urban did not try to soften that period of his life. He described it as the moment he came closest to losing the most important relationship he had outside his career. He praised Kidman for staying by his side through treatment and recovery, despite every reason she could have had to leave. His gratitude made it clear he believed her support saved their marriage.
Nick yelled out a song,
I was heckling from the audience. I was like, stop talking and play the songs, which I
so
should
I
not
thought
have been
the
doing.
heckler should get up and sing.
I learned my lesson. I won't ever heckle again. I have the most extraordinary partner in life. I love to be able to say that.
And a handsome +1, huh?
Never a +1.
Cameras captured Kidman wiping away tears as the audience listened in silence. By the next morning, clips of the speech had spread across social media and entertainment outlets. Many viewers saw it as a rare, genuine moment.
I can imagine you play some songs for your wife, Nicole.
Sure.
Like, does she ever come back and say, not that one, honey? And you're like, but I love it.
She hasn't actually said that.
Never?
No.
But the speech also renewed interest in the pressures their marriage had faced over the years. Soon, online speculation grew, with some discussions focusing on Maggie Baugh, Urban's guitarist who had toured with him during recent performances. Fans began revisiting concert clips and stage interactions, viewing them through the lens of possible relationship trouble. At one show, Urban appeared to change a lyric in The Fighter, while gesturing toward Maggie Baugh, leading some fans to share the clip as possible evidence of a deeper connection. The internet quickly amplified the speculation. Videos were reposted, analyzed, and turned into theories. Entertainment blogs and anonymous accounts added to the rumors, and even comments from Maggie's father were interpreted by some as significant. However, none of it was confirmed. Urban, Baugh, and Kidman did not publicly address the rumors. The speculation led many to ask a larger question. If problems existed, when did they begin? One of the earliest pressures on the marriage was time. Both careers required long periods away from home. Urban spent months touring, while Kidman often filmed on location for extended stretches in different parts of the world. Over time, that separation created challenges. Conversations became shorter, routines harder to share, and important updates were often discussed after the fact. Even when the relationship remained strong, daily life no longer felt as connected. The pressure was intensified by public attention and Urban's history with addiction. Recovery remained an ongoing process, and both had to navigate the lasting effects of the struggles that marked the beginning of their marriage. Another challenge emerged in 2006 when model Amanda Wyatt claimed she had been involved with Urban and alleged the relationship overlapped with his engagement to Kidman, continuing until shortly before their June 2006 wedding. The claims spread through tabloids but were never proven, and neither Urban nor Kidman publicly addressed them. Even so, the story remained part of public discussion about the pressures surrounding their marriage. Despite those challenges, the couple made a deliberate effort to protect their relationship. Rather than assuming it would hold together on its own, they created practical habits to manage careers filled with travel, filming, and touring. One key rule was limiting time apart. Even when work placed them in different locations, they aimed not to go more than a few days without seeing each other. They also avoided relying on text messages. Instead, they preferred phone and video calls, believing direct conversation reduced misunderstandings and helped them stay connected while apart. They preferred communication that felt direct and personal. Urban also maintained a routine while touring, calling Kidman during each concert encore. He would briefly check in with her before returning to the stage, making it a regular part of tour life.
I didn't even know how to get up from this.
How did you get up?
Because I had a husband that came right back. I called him screaming and crying, and he was about to go on stage, and he walked off stage and he got on a plane. He'd just gotten there. He flew 6 hours and he was right back there, and he literally picked me up.
Kidman prioritized family in a similar way. She has said she would choose family over work if necessary, and, at times, stepped back from projects to be present for their daughters, Sunday Rose, born in 2008, and Faith Margaret, born in 2010. Despite these efforts, new challenges emerged. By 2025, the image of Urban and Kidman as a stable couple appeared increasingly strained. There were no public conflicts, but growing distance developed as demanding work schedules kept them apart more often and made their routines harder to maintain. What followed was not a sudden breakup, but a gradual separation that developed privately. Over time, Urban and Kidman were seen apart more often, balancing family and careers on separate paths. Those close to them later described it as a slow change rather than a single turning point. When the divorce became public, the reaction was immediate.
Were you shocked?
Here's what I was shocked about. The first report came out and it said Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban are separating. When a celebrity says they're separating, that means that A, it's not going to be amicable, and B, somebody else was dipping into something else. Because most of the times you get a celebrity saying, by the way, we're getting a divorce, it's all hammered out, and the judgment has come down. That's what normally happens, especially with two A-listers.
Many people believed their marriage had already survived its toughest period and would last. After the separation was confirmed, Urban said the ending was not caused by one major event. Instead, it grew over time through distance, personal pressures, and lives moving in different directions. Despite the split, both remained focused on privacy and family, avoiding public disputes or media battles.
No one ever says separation. The last person that said separation was Hugh Jackman. But he was seeing Sutton Foster.
Right.
Literally weeks after.
Yeah.
So he had something that he wanted to do.
Yeah.
So I was like, ooh, this is, I was like, give it 24 hours. Something else is going to come out. And then we all saw all the other came out.
That silence reflected much of their relationship. Private, deliberate, and away from public drama. In the end, their marriage was shaped by years of effort, but time, distance, and change eventually took their toll. Do you think the relationship could have been saved? And what did you think of Urban's confession? Share your thoughts below, like, subscribe, and watch the next video on your screen for another story you won't want to miss.